Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've produced any videos, but this evening, seeing that we have good ATC coverage of the UK, let me zoom in here. We have the Tower Controller by Jack Baker in Nottingham, East Midlands, and we also have the Approach, and we also have the Approach on for Birmingham, and we also have London Control. So we have pretty much full ATC coverage from Nottingham to Birmingham here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attempt my first IFR flight on a video for you guys. I've already done one IFR flight on VATSIM already the other day. Very enjoyable, especially in the Cessna 172. I got a few strange looks, shall I say, from ATC, wondering what on earth the Cessna's doing flying IFR around on VATSIM, but it was loads of fun. So I decided to pop on and do one for you guys. So just thought I'd come into VATSIM here and show you what it is that I'm going to try and do. So here in Plan G, I'm just going to right click on Nottingham East Midlands, start flight plan at Nottingham East Midlands, and then we are going to go down here to Birmingham. So depending on what runway we take, let me see, it would be good to exit Nottingham from a VRP, probably Nottingham Measham, I think that's Measham, or Markfield. I think I'll exit via Markfield, add user waypoint to plan, and then I've got another problem. You can't use, yeah, it's good I remember this, you cannot use VRPs to navigate with when you're flying IFR, because obviously VRPs, visual reference points, there's nothing visual about IFR flight. It's all instruments. So, okay, that's going to be different. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got, we have an NDB right there, Lichfield. That would be kind of in the right direction. We've got another NDB down here. So we've got things we could use. No VORs, unfortunately. We do have a VOR just there, which we can navigate from Nottingham down to here, and then come into Birmingham. But basically, it's really not that far between Nottingham and Birmingham. So pretty much by the time we've got up, we'll be going down again. And there are ILS approaches for each runway in both airports. So hopefully I will be requesting an ILS approach to the runways, which is going to be fun. Actually, I've never done an ILS approach on VATSIM yet. I've done them offline just to practice their glide slopes and stuff. But so I guess I'll just go to this one here. So right click, add that one, and then I will go straight to Birmingham. So that's a really basic flight plan, very basic. So straight from East Midlands to the Lichfield NDB, and then almost straight south to Birmingham. So Birmingham itself, excuse me, Birmingham itself has an NDB of 406. So let me just write these down. 406. This one here is 545. Yep, 545. Nottingham doesn't really have one exactly at the runway, but it has one. The closest one is 38393. We won't use that one though. We'll just use direct compass bearings from point A to point B, and then point B to point C. I'm imagining. So, in the traditional feeling of this channel, I'm just going to jump straight in and risk everything. Not really doing this route or anything like this before. So, just thought I'd just shove myself out in VATSIM in IFR mode just for you guys and your entertainment. So, I will join you back in the cockpit. Another thing I was just about to say, folks, before I jumped in the aircraft there, is that for IFR flight you really do need charts more than you do for VFR flight. Where am I here? Nottingham. No, wrong airport. Okay, wrong airport there. Sorry, thought Nottingham. Okay, it's EGNX, which I'm looking for. East Midlands. Okay, maybe it's named East Midlands. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Aerodrome chart. Let's have a look at that first, and then we'll have a look at what else could be helpful here. Aircraft ground movement chart, control zone and control area, and VRPs. That sounds like something we may find helpful. Let's have a look. That one's okay. This is where we're taking on. So this is Birmingham. It doesn't look like Birmingham. Oh no. Yes, it is Birmingham. North. Okay. Yeah, that's Birmingham. It's just it's on a slant. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Few things have changed since I came in here. One of them being, unfortunately, all of the ATC for Birmingham disappeared. And that's sometimes what happens. It just comes and goes. Sometimes they schedule and sometimes they don't. So what I've done is I'm going to begin the flight from Birmingham instead of Nottingham, and I'm going to fly into Nottingham, which has full ATC coverage. So that hopefully should be more interesting than flying out and then landing with no ATC. So here I am. I have 2 degrees Celsius this evening, so I mean it's the end of November, so you know, every night, every time I fly, I plug in my engine heater. Let me just see how cabin is cool and steady, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up Nottingham ATIS and get their ATIS, which is 128.22. That's 128.22. Oh yes, I need to connect to VATSIM. There we go. Ah dear. Connect. I do not want to connect as a de Havilland Twin Otter. I want to connect as a Cessna 172. There we go. Just wait for Squawkbox to load up the frequencies, and then it should start reading out my ATIS. Come on, come on, don't be shy. Where are you, ATIS? Come on, come on. I know you're there. ATIS is 128.22. Ah ha ha, there we go. Cruising altitude. Now this is what I wanted to make sure about, because in IFR you cannot fly lower than, I think, either 2000 or 2500. You just can't do it. So just looking at the control zones in Plan G here, we have 4500, 5500, 5000, 5000. Okay. So we could get away with 3000. So I'm going to dial in 3000 there. My aircraft capabilities: simple RNAV, no transponder, nope. Advanced RNAV with dual FMS, nope. DME. London Control. London Control is who we will be contacting first. 129.42. 129.42. Because there's no controllers at Birmingham, we're going to go up the scale. And I can explain that later. If you never quite know exactly which ATC radio or ATC level to contact first, there is a hierarchy, and it just so happens that because Birmingham itself has no ATC, London Control will be ready. Let me just get ready to go. I've done my system checks and so forth. Set 3000 it was, on the autopilot. I will be using autopilot. I'll be taking off runway 15. Okay, I am pretty much set. Make sure the QNH 1013 is in.
Flight level 14, climb flight level 140. Climb 140, flight level 14.
Okay, the correct QNH is in. And I will contact London Control. Good evening, London Control. This is Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar, requesting departure from Birmingham to Nottingham, East Midlands, IFR.
Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar. Not controlling Birmingham or the airspace between you and East Midlands. 1 for Unicom, 122.8. Goodbye.
122.8. Thank you very much. Bye. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Basically, he told me he wasn't controlling my particular airspace, so monitor 122.8. So I'm on 122.8 now, and everything seems good to go. So this is basically going to be a standard, and as you can see at night time, very, very disconcerting. It's quite. You have to make sure you know exactly where you're going, because difficult to see. Let's see. What I'm doing just there is I'm turning on and off my my ENB series mod, which basically tweaks the colors and the brightness values to be more realistic. And so it brightens the light parts and it darkens the dark parts of the screen, and it also provides a little bit of bloom. But the problem is it looks lovely in the daytime, and I've been using it constantly ever since I got it about a year ago, but in the nighttime you can't see anything at all, so I turn it off in the nighttime so that I can taxi. So I'm just taxiing up to runway 15, and then there's really no one about, so I'm just going to take off. I'm not really going to bother. I actually might just cut. No, I won't cut the video, because I want to show you the autopilot. I showed you the autopilot in my previous video, where I did a few rounds of circuits of Bristol, but I could actually take off from Alpha here. I could just do a left-hand turn onto 15. It's a very long runway, so I can get away with it. And usually here, all the ATC would all be, you know, doing my clearance at the hold and all that kind of jazz. But you've seen it in previous videos, so that I'm not really majoring on that in this video. This video is more about IFR procedures and how to approach a field in IFR mode. And we're up. And another thing, folks, you may have noticed is I'm running at 1080p tonight, and the reason is that recently I'm just going to put my autopilot on now. Autopilot going on, and I'm going to set my vertical speed. Hang on a second. Let me just turn off my Easy Dock so that it doesn't shake. And it's selected on roll, which means that it keeps wings level, but I want to go straight to 007. So about there, and as soon as I hit heading, it's going to start swinging me left around to 007. So yeah, sorry, I was saying the reason why I'm filming in 1080p tonight. Make sure I have my pitot heat on. Yep, that's good. is that FSX Genius, sorry, was kind enough to configure my FSX installation, and in doing so, I've actually been able to get more frames a second, or smoother at least. So yeah, that's good. So hopefully I should be able to record in 1080p from now on. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let me just throttle back slightly, bringing the mixture back a little and the throttle back a little. Now, if there were VORs, I would be able to use the navigation mode on the autopilot, but since there's not, I'm just going to do blind navigation, which I'm allowed to do, I think. he thinks. Yes, that's not very good when he thinks. But I'm going to do blind navigation. I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to cross over my radial there up to the NDB, and then I'm going to then contact Nottingham approach when I get... Okay, coming up on 3000 now. Just want to hit the arm button so that it does stop at 3000. It doesn't continue climbing, because sometimes it does that. I believe it's because you have to hit arm before it reaches the altitude. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. I should be. Bad man talk. Bad man talk. Right, -2 Celsius showing on my screen there, so I can see that it is quite cold out tonight. There's really no use for me to go to the outside view at the moment, folks, because it's night time. I'm going to turn my taxi and my landing lights off and start to throttle back there just into a leisurely cruise. And I was wondering why I should have a score code. Where is my score code? This is... oh no. Okay. Phew, I thought my score code was supposed to appear there and not up here. I just missed where it was supposed to be for a second on the avionics there. So yes, Squawkbox says that its ATC server has forced a score code change to 2200, which is fine. It's because I'm flying in IFR. If I was flying VFR, it would be 7000. But flying IFR, it's going to be slightly different. I'm just going to turn off some lights here and turn on my panel lights. Turn them up a bit. Turn on my glare shield. That's always nice. Pedestal. Radio stack. Maybe... okay, maybe the first notch of the flood. Okay, I need to turn back to 07 now. By the way, folks who are watching and who have subscribed, thank you very much for those who have subscribed so far. You're numbering now about 440-ish minions that follow me. So thank you very much for that. Oh my goodness, why am I rising? No, I'm not. Okay. For those of you who have subscribed, and if you want to find out what I'm doing while I'm not making videos, if you want to ask me any questions about my videos or whatever, the best place to do it is my Facebook page. I've recently opened up facebook.com/Mantalk Productions. You can find it, there's a link on my YouTube page, in fact. You can go and find it there. Why is my plane wobbling up and down? It shouldn't be a trim problem. I have no idea. I basically fixed my autopilot problem by unbinding my trim tab to one of the yokes on my throttle quadrant, or the thingies, whatever they are. But in doing so, it stops the throttle from twitching, and every time the throttle twitches, it throws off the autopilot. So I don't know why it's technically it shouldn't be going up and down. It should be holding steady at 3000 as I've set it. Let me just un-autopilot myself, and then autopilot myself again. No, no, what is it doing? Silly thing. Why are you playing up? Stay level. Arm yourself. Arm yourself, you silly thing. No. No. Why? Do not do this to me. I'm recording you, you silly thing. Altimeter. No, not negative 900. Okay, I am very sad that it has to do that to me. But what it's going to do is what it's going to do. I can't really help that, unfortunately. The wind isn't playing any major problem. Right, let's go see where I am on VATSIM here. I could contact control now, but I'm going fairly slow. I'll contact control whenever I get to the NDB. And the NDB is the Lima India Charlie NDB. Come on, autopilot, stop doing this. Showing me up in front of my YouTube followers like this. This is very bad of you. Okay. It's just being silly. So when it comes to the glide slope, I will be manually flying the glide slope, but I will be using the glide slope. Usually you can use the autopilot for the glide slope, obviously. You just hit the approach button and it works, but apparently there's a bug, and A2A will be fixing the bug soon. So I'm not going to worry about that. I have faith that they will fix it and it will work perfectly. What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to use what is called a C-facer, which is a way of contacting air traffic control while you're in mid-air in your flight plan. C-facer stands for call sign, en route, position, heading, altitude, conditions, estimate, request. And I'll tell you about those in a second. Oh my goodness, this autopilot is going to be the embarrassment of me. Stop. What is wrong with you? Oh, maybe it's the barometric pressure. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Okay, time to turn right and head for East Midlands. Right to 074 degrees. Good evening, Nottingham Control. This is Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar. With you inbound, currently overhead the Lima India Charlie NDB, en route to Nottingham position, heading is 074, altitude 3,300, conditions IFR. That was awful. Never done one of those before.
Golf Victor, India Delta Echo Oscar, East Midlands, radar, hello. Check your transponder, it appears to be turned off. And you can also squawk 4550.
4550 for Golf Echo Oscar, apologies.
Golf Echo Oscar, you're going to have to turn your transponder on. Squawk mode up. Charlie, sir.
Should be on. Is
Golf Echo Oscar, I identified information November 2H1030. Report your intention.
intentions full stop landing at Nottingham East Midlands for Golf Echo Oscar. This is not going terribly well.
Golf Echo Oscar, turn right heading 090 degrees, vectors ILS approach runway 27.
Right hand turn 090, expect ILS for 27, Golf Echo Oscar, thank you very much. Okay, hold altitude, hold. Okay, good, 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 hold, hold, hold. Don't go up, don't go up, don't go up, don't go up, no. No, oh my goodness, I'm not impressed with you. Of all things, I have to mess up ATC and then the autopilot won't hold at 3000. Okay, so he's said expect ILS 27, which I will expect. And the ILS code for 27 is 109.35. So let me put that in nav 1.
Golf Echo Oscar, are you able to correction, Golf Echo Oscar, do you require vectors for the ILS, or are you able to report visual?
Can report visual, but would like to do ILS for 07 Golf Echo Oscar.
Golf Echo Oscar, roger, continue.
Continue, Golf Echo Oscar, thanks. Okay, just set the ILS approach. Just got a fuel low warning, but I'm basically almost ready to land anyway, so it's not, the fuel isn't a problem. Oh my goodness, yes. These videos on my channel, usually I just throw myself under the bus. Quite a lot, really. And in doing so, even though this isn't real life, my heart is racing. Well, it's not racing, but you know. And my ATC transmissions haven't been terribly good, as you just saw. But of course, in circumstances that you have never been before, you don't quite know the forms, and you don't quite understand what you should be saying. So, in a sense, you could say I am constantly testing the limits of my ATC background. So I'm constantly running into new things that are happening on VATSIM that I haven't done before, and that's constantly causing me to learn how to adapt to these new conditions. So where I was, you know, half a year ago, absolutely just having kittens about ATC and not understanding what on earth I was doing, trying to learn VFR. Now I feel quite comfortable in VFR, but now I'm testing myself even more to go to IFR now. And most people have said to me, actually IFR is really easy, VFR is the thing that we have troubles with. And I'm like, well, really, I personally would find VFR easier, but you know, there we are. I really want to get this right here for you guys tonight, because enough has gone wrong already in the very short space of time that I've been recording. There we are. What can one do? But yes, as I was saying, folks, please go over and join or just like my Facebook page. It just gives me a way of being able to talk to you folks about things without having to make an entire video about it. So you'll be able to see my behind-the-scenes practice for the videos that I do. And got a few people down there. One person down there. Yeah, the approach controller there, he asked me if I could do a visual approach, and he probably doesn't like the fact that I'm in a Cessna and I'm trying to do IFR. I've had that before, in fact. But I just, you know, asked, you know, I'd rather have the IFR treatment, which, if you just looked at my nav1 dial there, you saw the dial flick over from the left to the right. That means we've just crossed the threshold of the runway there, and we're up at 3,000. And basically in IFR mode, I'm just going to fly this heading and this altitude until he tells me otherwise. And it's as easy as that, apparently. I'm slightly left of 090, and that's because I've got a slight side wind behind me on my like 5 o'clock or ish, something like that. I don't know what was wrong with my transponder. It's on standby now. It's because I did a full shutdown in the Cessna last time I shut down.
Golf Echo Oscar, descend to altitude 2,000 feet.
Descend 2,000 feet, Golf Echo Oscar. Alright, so that was nice and simple. Nice, clear and concise. I'm going to do mixture full rich now. Throttle back. And I wouldn't normally be hand flying at night time. As I say, I would normally be doing all of these maneuvers using the autopilot, but because the autopilot is deciding to have an emotional moment and it needs its time out. Oh, slight right hand there. I'm having to do this all manually, as if it was VFR, but it's not VFR, it's IFR. So a little bit extra of a workload there, but you know. Okay, leveling out 2000. Okay, so if you have a look at Plan G, you can see what he's doing. He's taken me effectively on a downwind leg, and probably in time he will tell me to do a 90 degrees turn to the left.
Golf Echo Oscar, turn left heading 360 degrees.
Turn left heading 360 for Golf Echo Oscar. So as I predicted, 360 degrees, which is basically due north. Whoa, little wind there. Doing a rate 1 turn here. I learnt how to do a rate 1 turn in real life, actually. I did a real life flight from Cambridge Airport the other day. I'll add...
Golf Echo Oscar, turn left heading 300 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 27.
Cleared ILS approach, runway 27, turn left heading 300 degrees. Thank you for Golf Echo Oscar. Okay, so he's cleared me to 300 degrees, and I'm cleared to the approach, and you can see the runway in the distance there. And this is where it's going to get interesting, because I'm going to fly heading of 300 degrees until my localizer comes alive. If you have a look here, you'll see we're pretty much, he's set me bang on the glide slope, which is nice. And yep, that needle's now starting to move. I don't know if I'm supposed to report back to him. Oh crap, he's going to want me to go over to tower. Tower is 124.00.
Golf Echo Oscar, contact East Mid Tower 124.00.
Over to tower on 124.00 for Golf Echo Oscar. Thank you very much, and good night. Now this is where I get to sound like an airliner. Good evening, Nottingham Tower. This is Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar with you. ILS approach runway 27. Oh yeah, I'm coming in.
Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar East Midlands Tower. Good evening, runway 27. Clear to land, surface wind 260 degrees 9 knots.
Clear to land 27 for Golf Echo Oscar. Thank you. Oh yeah, I just did what all of the airliners do every day of the week in their IFR mode. Is do an ILS approach. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. I am doing it, finally. Got a left crosswind here, but trying to follow my glide slope indicator. I'm above the glide slope, which is why I'm descending rapidly. As you can see, about 800 to 900 feet per minute. And I'm catching up the glide slope, as you can see. Start to, a little bit early to dial in some flaps, but that's okay. Little bit, that's going to be some flap damage when I look in the hangar. That was a little bit early to open those flaps, but there we go. Coming up on the glide slope again. Coming up on the glide slope, there's that was exciting. A last minute ATC handover. From approach to tower. I finally get to do it like they do in real life. But yeah, so anyway, I got to do a real life flight in a Cessna 172 in real life from Cambridge Airport the other day, and it was incredibly enjoyable. Everything looked almost exactly the same, except everything was smaller in real life. I got in, and I'm 6 foot I'm like 6'2", so I looked inside the cockpit and kind of wondered whether I'd fit. But I did, and here I am to tell the tale, so. Let me just really throttle back. I came in quite high, but it's okay, the runway is long, so. After I finish recording, I'll just apologize to the approach controller for being an awkward IFR inbound aircraft that probably weighs as much as a kite. Here we go. Down we come. Down we come. Slight ruddering there for the crosswind, and down. Lights on. Little bit of throttle there because I want to get off this runway.
Okay, Oscar. Welcome to East Midlands. Vacate next best on to Sierra. Contact Eastern Ground 121.9. Good night.
Over to 121.9. Take a left on Sierra. Thank you very much for tower and good evening. Golf Echo Oscar. I did not know that the ground was on. Well, this is wonderful. We get the full ATC coverage this evening. Right, just put my parking brake on while I just whack in that new thing there. That was ground, which was 121.9. 121.9. And where am I exactly?
Ryanair 1652, ready for taxi.
Let me just check my chart. I'm holding it Sierra 1. Okay.
Ryanair 1652, what's your whole position?
Proposition, Ryanair 1652.
East Midlands ground, this is Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar with you, Sierra 1. Request taxi to General Aviation Parking.
Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar negative. You need to taxi to maintenance area north, please, via Sierra Alpha Mike.
Sierra Alpha Mike to maintenance area for Golf Echo Oscar. Thank you very much. Okay, so slight difference there. Maintenance area instead of GA apron or whatever it was. I said General Aviation area.
Ryanair 1652, can we have taxi my whole short November until the aircraft passes from right to left?
Alpha Foxtrot, he said.
Ryanair 1652, give way to the Cessna 172, passing from right to left. After he passes, taxi to Alpha 2, no, Alpha 1 for Romeo 27 by November and Alpha.
Can we have whiskies, Ryanair 1652?
It was Sierra Alpha Foxtrot.
Ryanair 1652, affirm taxi to Whiskey 1 for Romeo 27 by November, give way to the Cessna 172.
Oh yes, look, two of them are giving way to me. Ha ha ha.
Of Alpha, thank you. So after the passing Cessna 152 from right to left, to Whiskey 1.
Oh yeah.
November, Ryanair 1652.
Oh yeah. Give way, that's it. Give way, thank you.
Ryanair 522 Panther, sorry for the delay in the push in. We've got this, for some reason, some stupid de-icing vehicles approached the aircraft and started de-icing. We'll be ready for taxi shortly.
That doesn't sound good.
That's not a problem.
Looking for taxiway Foxtrot here.
It's not cold enough for that yet.
I can't find Foxtrot!
Golf Victor Echo Oscar, I believe I sent you to maintenance area north and you are now heading for cargo.
Apologies, missed the turn off for Golf Echo Oscar. May I request turning left on Juliet and further down?
Golf Echo Oscar, I shouldn't really give this to you, but you can taxi to stand 1255 Juliet.
125 via Juliet, thank you very much for Golf Echo Oscar. He gave me a stand. Oh crap, 125. Yeah, alright, I see it, 125. That's the last one on the right. Oh, oh, the joy, the joy. Where's my line? Where's my line? I don't have a line. Where is that line? I'm supposed to be... Okay, let me see where I am. I'm pretty sure this is where I was. Juliet, I went down... Juliet, yeah. And stand 125. Okay, Juliet, 125, yeah. Okay, let's bow out gracefully and shut down. Golf Echo Oscar shutting down. Apologies for mix-up. Good evening.
Golf Echo Oscar, that's not a problem at all. Have a nice evening.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an historic evening. As the royalty of England usually says. An historic. I think Elizabeth I used to say that. Anyway. Let's stop making a fool of ourselves online, Peter. You have a reputation to uphold for good quality YouTube tutorials or videos. Yeah, right. Okay, folks, well, it's been a very interesting quick flight here on VATSIM. It's always very interesting. It never turns out the way I originally plan or think that a video from my YouTube channel will go. But that's just the enjoyment of flying online with other real world people. So that's it for me. I will be making further videos soon, more to do with IFR flight, but I will probably soon actually be making IFR videos in a different aircraft. This is not really very well suited for IFR flight. IFR flight usually needs something a bit faster than this and a slightly more advanced autopilot system and so forth. But this is a nice autopilot system. It has all of the nuts and bolts you need to do what you need to do in IFR. It's not really terribly an IFR aircraft. It's more VFR. So I will in future try to keep my VFR for the Cessna, and hopefully soon, folks, stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a shared cockpit on the Aerosoft Twin Otter Extended with Eric Lund from FS Flight Lessons. That's going to be an absolute blast, and yes, that will be on VATSIM and all the nuts and bolts attached. And even further down the road, we're both gearing up to do some shared cockpit in the the Dash-8 Q400 by Magestic. Some people like to call it the Dash-8, some people like to call it the Q400, but there we go. Anyway, I'll shut up now and leave you guys in peace. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Short but eventful. And hopefully talk to you later. Just leave some comments on Facebook as to what you thought of it, on YouTube as well. Usually I would say leave them on YouTube, but YouTube has this kind of thing. It's been married to Google Plus, and it's going crazy. So if you want to chat me up, hit me up on the Facebook page. So thank you very much, folks, and good evening.